The grip strength is probably one of the most limiting factors for your deadlift max. And the reason is that people will either do double overhand or they'll do a mixed grip with improper technique. One of the solutions may be using straps, but that's a bad solution for two reasons. Number one, you're not actually tackling the problem, you're just finding a way around it. Number two, if you're interested in powerlifting, during powerlifting competitions, the use of straps is forbidden. And being myself a competitive powerlifter, I had to learn how to properly grip the bar, but also how to strengthen my grip in order to be able to deadlift my real max weight. During my last powerlifting competition, I was able to deadlift 290 kilos or 640 pounds at a body weight of 69 kilos or 152 pounds. And like you've seen in the video, I wasn't using straps and I was able to hold the bar at the top for quite long. So in this video, I'm going to give you the technique that I use in order to maximize my grip strength and also give you 3 exercises in order to make sure you improve your grip strength. And next time you go to do a deadlift max, the grip is not your limiting factor. Before seeing how you can maximize your grip strength, we need to look at the technique. And people don't realize that, but there's actually a proper technique in order to have a good grip strength. It's exactly like in a squat or in a bench press. Strength also comes with technique. So what I'm going to show you right now is no technique in terms of grip, which is the double overhand grip. So in this position, I can definitely lift 70 kilos double overhand. But when I'll go to deadlift heavier, what will happen is the bar will just open up my hands. So if you're beginner to the gym, the double overhand is the easiest way to learn how to grab the bar, but it's probably one of the weakest grip techniques you can actually use. So that's why in powerlifting competitions, you'll usually see what we call the mixed grip. So the mixed grip is very simple. You have one hand in the same position as in the double overhand. So here, and then you'll just supinate the other arm and have the grip like that. What it does is it actually prevents the bar from rolling, which is why your hands open up with a double overhand grip. One of the biggest fears about the mixed grip is actually the bicep tear. And I get that it's a very frightening accident that can happen, but you also have to consider that usually when that happens, it's because the athlete, the person, was doing a mistake. And that mistake is that person was trying to row the barbell towards them, which would look like this. As you can see, if I go to deadlift here, so I won't even try to do it in order to not tear my bicep, but if I go to deadlift like this, you can see I'm actually involving my bicep into the movement. With 70 kilos, I can maybe get away with it, but with 200, 220 to 70 kilos, I have huge chances that my bicep will actually tear. So a very, very easy fix and a very easy way to prevent that is to simply imagine your arms are like steel. They're straight and they cannot be bent. So if when you go to deadlift, you just lower your arms, you straighten them like I'm doing here, you simply reduce very, very, very low the risk of bicep tear. Now that this point is out of the way, we can actually try to see the grip technique that will help you become stronger for your deadlifts. The biggest mistake beginners do is because they don't want their grip to let go, they'll actually do what you shouldn't do, which is grab the bar very, very high in the hand and squeeze as hard and as tight as they can. Why is it a mistake? Because here, if I do that, as you can see, I have a certain degree of flexion into my wrists. So if I go to deadlift with light weights, I can keep that degree of flexion. But with heavy weights, this will end up happening. As you can see, my wrist went from this position into this position, and that created a momentum for the bar to roll into my hands. And also that's one of the reasons as to why sometimes you see athletes like tear up their hands. It's because they grab too high the bar in their hands. The more the bar will be high in your hand, the more squeeze you'll get into it, the more wrist flexion you'll have, the less you'll be able to maintain your grip, because the bar will roll into your hand. And that's why you just let go, because the bar just rolls and there's nothing you can do to prevent it. So, like I said, the grip is probably the most important aspect in order to have a good strength on your deadlift with your grip. And so instead of creating this wedge here very, very high into my hand, I actually want to do the opposite. I really want to set as minimum as palm I can and actually grab with my fingers. So in this position, the bar doesn't roll because it has nowhere to roll to. So here, and that's actually a very, very, very easy position to hold. So if I just casually take the bar, here I can hold it for a very, very, very long because I have very minimum effort to do in terms of muscle. On the contrary now, if I resort to the other grip, if I grab like full on with my hands with some flexion into my wrists, when I'll pull, as you can see, everything is rolling and it's actually much more painful. Just this simple trick, this simple technique will allow you to become much stronger with the grip strength. Now, in terms of exercises you can do in order to improve your grip, there are actually 3 exercises for me that help me a lot in order to strengthen my grip. Number 1 is heavy holds. It's pretty straightforward. Whenever you go to deadlift, for your top set for instance, your max attempt, just hold the bar at the top for as long as you can. Really, it's the most specific way to reinforce your grip strength. Every time you go to train deadlifts, if you have, let's say, 2-3 heavy reps, at the end of each of those reps, just hold the bar for 5 seconds, 7 seconds, 10 seconds. Don't force it, like I think above 15 seconds there is not really a point. But yeah, between 5 seconds and 10 seconds, I would say it's a pretty good hold, and you just do that whenever you're lifting heavy. And if there's a moment during a training session where you feel your grip is giving away, that's exactly when you have to force yourself to do those holds. Number 2 is I personally like to do a lot of dumbbell RDLs because to me it's one of the best assistances you can do in order to improve your deadlift. So what I'll do is I'll do pretty heavy dumbbell RDLs without the straps. So because you're doing 15-20 reps on this exercise, you have to hold your grip for quite a long time. So although it's a bit less specific, because you're forced to hold the grip for longer and also with the dumbbells, I think it's a pretty good exercise. It builds a bit more muscle endurance and also it builds your hands. So as you can see, my hands are built up. I have calluses into my hands and that also allows for a better grip when going to deadlift heavy. Number 3 is whenever you're doing back accessories, using the straps actually limits the impact of your grip, which is a very good thing if you want to simply focus on back strength, but also at the same time, not using the straps on given exercises, on given sets can also reinforce your grip. So if I'm going to do some rows, some dumbbell rows, I can do a couple of sets without the straps in order to have that grip work, grip strength work, and then maybe I'll use the straps for my last 2 sets, for instance, where I really want to push towards muscle failure, because obviously when you're not using straps, what usually gives up is your grip. Using the straps is important for back development, but if you also want to have a bit of the best of both worlds, so developing your back muscles but also developing your grip strength, having some back work where you're not using the straps can be a very useful tool. There you have it, guys. I hope this was helpful. That's basically how I personally train my grip in order to deadlift heavy with the mixed grip. There's also another variation I didn't talk about, which is the hook grip. So if you guys are interested in that, just leave a comment and I'll do a tutorial on how to properly hook grip for deadlifts. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. It's probably one of the best ways to support. And also, if you want to become stronger in the deadlifts, I have a designed program specifically for deadlifts. So if you go to thepanash.app, you'll be able to access this program and 14 other programs with just 1 monthly subscription. So make sure you check that out in order to make some good deadlift gains. Hope you guys enjoyed it and catch you up in the next one.